Hello and welcome back to another Outerplane video. So in this video I have received another request for a guide. This time it's story chapter 10.3 hard, and it is the Ksai boss. And this boss gives a lot of people trouble, and honestly when I first fought this boss it gave me a little bit of trouble too. But I'm gonna again structure this like I did my other guides. I'm gonna show you the original team that I used. I'm gonna go over the boss mechanics. I'm gonna show you some alternates you can use, and we're just gonna get through it together. So at this point in the game, you know, the bosses have been they've had large health pools, but by far this is probably the largest health pool that you'll face outside of like Stella. So he's kind of thick, so it might take a while to go ahead and down him. But as long as you remember the mechanics, you should go ahead. You should be able to get through this. So let's go ahead and go through his skills. His skill 1 attacks all enemies with a 30% chance to inflict stun on the target for 1 turn. Skill 2 attacks all enemies and steals all buffs from 1 target. This is an important one right here. Skill 3 attacks all enemies and has a 100% chance to reduce the target's defense for 2 turns. And then his Enrage becomes enraged when health drops below 30% of max health or lower. Enrage ultimate skill deals heavy damage to all units after dealing damage equal to 20% of the target's max health. Reduce weakness gauge damage taken by 80%. After attacking, heals 100% of health if an enemy dies. So if one of your units die when he uses this skill, he's going to heal to full. Increases the attack until inflicted with break. This ultimate skill does not affect the duration of rage. So again, like I said, by far probably one of the beefiest bosses that you're going to face outside of Stella. He has a high attack. He has some pretty high defense values here. We're going to talk about some thresholds before we run into the run. So for your units, I know that at this point that you might not have a lot of gear. Of course, you don't have to have like 6-star, 4-star. You can do this at base 3-star. You might even have some 4-stars here, but you don't need like super gear. You just need about, I want to say, about 3,500 to 4K HP. Enough defense that you don't get one shot, and enough attack that you're actually doing enough damage to go ahead and knock them out pretty quick. With that being said, let's go ahead and go through the run, and I'll just explain the strategy here. So normally what you would do when you start this fight, if you're like playing Valentine, is you would go S2 into S3, but here in this fight particularly, I suggest that you don't do it because he's going to do his S2, which steals buffs, and you don't want him to get those buffs from Valentine. So you're not going to S2 buff until after you break him. So you're just going to attack with your Valentine normally. TO really helps here with it, like the debuffs that he drops on you. Of course, if you're running Noah, of course you know you're just gonna S1. Keep going. It's normal attack. I'm trying to get him to a rage as quick as we can. I'm gonna stay healthy here. Just whittle them down. That's all you gotta do. So now he's at 12. 12 weakness gauge. That's when you're gonna go ahead and use your chain. Now, when you have them broken, that's when you're gonna do. That's when you're gonna use your buffs. So we're gonna go ahead and set up. Nowhere last, of course. He's broken. Now, defense buff is very important here. If you don't have Ronica, Tio drops a defense buff with her burst, so there's an option there. Of course, I'm gonna use my defense right here. Make sure my pile stays alive. I'm gonna go ahead and defense buff again because he's coming up on rage. So if you can live through the enrage ultimate, you're in a pretty good spot. So after that, you're just gonna heal up. Remember to keep watching your buff. At this point, if you got them this low, you can go ahead and burn your buffs if you want. Just to go ahead and finish it off quick. Go ahead and push the Veronica ahead. And there we go. That's all it's to it, guys. Let's go back. So again, like I said, this is not the easiest boss. This is one of the roadblocks that they set in front of you before you get to Stella. It's just pretty much one of your big stat checks. Like I said, it's just about kind of controlling your buffs. You don't want them to get your buffs from you. And then you don't have to have a defense buff, but it helps. So Tio will help you there. Veronica will help you with that. You just have to live through the Enrage ultimate. Like if you can't live through that, then just you have to go back and work on gear, because there's no like shortcut through that. Like if you can't live through that, then not only you're not going to be able to beat this boss, and you're probably going to have a hard time with Stella. Just kind of level up your units as you need. You don't need like crazy stats. Like I said, just about 4k HP will be fine. I wish I had an attack value for you, but I can't remember what I was at. But if you can't do it the first time, as long as you know the mechanics, it might take you a couple times, but you're going to be able to get through this. So let's go ahead and go through some alternate units that you can use. Don't have these. I know a lot of people have Ren. You can use Ren here. You just got to be. You do, like I said, because she has a buff. You want to be careful. You don't want to give it to the boss. Fran works here really well because the boss is light. Dolly provides the speed down, accuracy down. Now we have Eternal. Eternal will work here too. Just a defense buff. And just in case he does happen to get your buffs, Eternal has a strip, so that will help with the damage output that the boss is doing. Also, remember Veronica on her S3 has a strip too, so you'll have 2 strippers if you run Veronica Internal. Dolly, just if you need more survivability for a second healer, you can run Ava. You can run Claire. If you have her built out, Feigning works here. Just remember that if you're going to run Feigning here, be extra careful on that immunity buff. You don't want to give that to the boss. Like I said, there's a lot of units that work here. K has a strip. So if you have him built out, that will work too. You just want to make sure that you're not watching your buffs, that you have a way to take away the boss's buffs. Because if he kills you with that ultimate enrage, you're going to be mad because he's going to heal back to full. So just watch that. Hopefully this guide's been helpful to you guys. If there's any more requests, then you guys know where to reach me. You can reach me in the YouTube comments, on the Facebook group. I'm always willing to help. Like I said, I hope this helps. And I will see you guys on the next one.